This problem has some terminology. Let's examine several of the polynomials. The first polynomial we want to examine is the n to the fifth minus 3. What is the constant term? The constant term is a term that has 0 power, x, and the constant term is minus 3. The leading term is the term with the highest power. In this case, it's n to the fifth. And what is the leading coefficient? Well, the coefficient is the number that multiplies the leading term, which is understood to be a 1. The second problem that we're going to analyze is the expression 5n minus n squared minus 8. It's in scrambled order. So let's unscramble it, putting the highest powered term first. So that's going to be minus n squared. Put the sign with the term. Then it's the n term, 5n, and then it's the constant term, minus 8. So I put the polynomial in descending order. The constant term is negative 8. The leading term is negative n squared, and the leading coefficient is negative 1, understood. We are asked to subtract the first polynomial from the second polynomial. Do not subtract in the order given. That would be a common mistake. We're asked to subtract from 8z squared. So I'm going to put 8z squared first, minus 2z plus 8. So from that polynomial, we want to subtract from it the polynomial 10z squared plus 10z minus 8. Now subtraction needs to be rewritten as add the opposite. So taking the opposite of each of the terms, I have negative 10z squared, negative 10z, and a plus 8. I'll put back the first polynomial, 8z squared minus 2z plus 8. So we want to subtract the first polynomial from the second one. Subtract the first, excuse me, say it right. The first polynomial from the second one, proper order. Now we're adding. We want to add like things, so I'm going to underline the like pair of terms. So 8z squared and minus 10z squared is minus 2z squared. Let's double underline the z terms. So negative 2z and negative 10z is negative 12z. Let's circle the constant terms, 8 and 8. So that's 16. So there's how the subtraction is done. We're asked to square a binomial. The binomial is 3 minus x quantity squared. Again, many students make mistakes in this. Squaring means repeat. So you take 3 minus x and multiply it by itself. Now we're going to use FOIL, so we're going to multiply the first terms together and get 9. We're going to multiply the outer pair of terms together, getting negative 3x. We're going to multiply the inner terms together, also getting negative 3x. And finally, the last terms together, getting plus x squared. Consolidating, we're going to have 9 minus 6x plus x squared. Write the expression below with positive exponents only. We have 5x to the minus 3 power. That means 5 times x to the minus 3. The only thing that's affected by the negative power is the x, not the 5. So they'll leave the 5 where it is. The negative power causes the base to cross the fraction line, and once you cross the fraction line, you put the opposite power. So 5 over x cubed would be the correct expression. Again, we're asked to rewrite the expression with no negative power. So it's negative 7 to the negative 2y. Only the 7 is raised to the negative 2 power, so therefore is minus 1, and the y still stays where it is. But the 7 crosses the fraction line to the denominator, and the power becomes the opposite, so it becomes squared. So it's negative 1y over 7 squared. Or another way of saying that is negative y over 49.